Hey guys, how's it going? This is Khan, Mr. So Real, and welcome to this week's Good or Garbage, the #1 place where you can find all of the stuff that you need to know for the vendor resets to help you be a better agent or have a better build in the division. Now, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, I'm gonna be 100% honest. Most of this stuff is not all that great, but there are a lot of things that I think can help out some agents. The majority of the stuff that's pretty good are mods. There are a lot of really good mods this week, and there are some Kneepads. So if you're an OG vet that's been grinding, there's probably not a lot for you. Alright guys, so starting it off this week, like I said, there's not too much going on that is a must buy. So let's start off with the stuff that I think is really good. This week has pretty much been a lot of Kneepads, and there's been some good mods. The Kneepads have been fair or okay, but getting on to the good stuff. So the must buys that I would recommend, there's a firearms mod with 3% skill haste that's being sold in the base. The downside to that is that it's 192 Phoenix credits. There's an electronics mod that's being sold in West 42nd Street with 3,167 health on it. So if you need, I guess, electronics and health, then there's one of those. There's also a decent, this is not in the must buy section, but there's a decent electronics mod being sold with, I believe, skill haste. And that's in the video, so you can check that out if you want to see about that one. Some of the pretty good stuff, there's accomplished Kneepads with 1,667 armor, 15,356 health, and 15% damage to elites in the base. There's a covert SRS being sold in the base with 170% headshot damage. There's a tactical mask being sold at East 58th Street with 1,000 armor on it. There's also some Savage gloves at East 58th Street with 963 SMG damage. Could be alright depending on your build. And that's pretty much it for the pretty good stuff. The rest of the stuff is pretty much okay. Alright, starting off at the special blueprint vendor, we have the classic RPK light machine gun. We have the military M9 pistol. We have the electronics glove blueprint, electronics knee pad blueprint, heavy magazine spring. This will give you an increase to your rate of fire. The small laser pointer, which will add to your accuracy, a stamina gear mod, and an electronics gear mod. These are the blueprints for this week, so if there's anything you need here, then go ahead and check it out. Alright, moving over to the special equipment vendor, we have the Historian with 151 headshot damage, comes with prepared, determined, history repeats. We have a Liberator with 23% enemy armor damage. We have the talent Sustain, Predatory, and Responsive. Responsive I like, Predatory I do like, but I wish it was in the third slot. We also have the Centurion with pretty decent base damage, comes with Accurate, which kinda sucks. We've got the Cassidy with a good amount of stagger, 330. Base damage is what it is, pretty good for double barrel, but it is a double barrel. Comes with Boomstick, Fierce, and Commanding. Then we have the Pacon with 13% damage to targets out of cover. Some pretty nice base damage at 22.5. Comes with Prepared, Meticulous, and Pacon. I like Meticulous, but I'm not really sure that that would work very well with the Pacon perk as it is. And then we get into the weapons with the Rhino Special. Comes with Expert, Trained. We have the Tactical UMP 45. The base damage on it is decent. The crit hit chance on it is excellent. Comes with Destructive, Adept, and Ambusher. This is a pretty decent weapon. The only problem is nobody likes using it because Ambusher is a pretty crap talent for most situations. So I would say this is probably a pass just until something happens with the UMPs. I mean, they can work, but there are much better SMG options out there. So then we get into the custom P416, comes with Responsive, Capable, and Swift. We've got the military M870 with Deadly, Swift, and Commanding. The base damage on this is nice, and the stagger on it is very nice at 345.5. We've got the M700 tactical sniper rifle, pretty crap headshot damage at 153, base damage 139 with this character. Don't really like the talents, elevated, accurate, and sustained. Then we got the military RPK 74 with 13% damage to targets out of cover. Base damage is kind of meh. The self-preserved, skilled, and brutal are the talents that are going on for this week. Now getting on to the stuff that you should buy and the stuff that is all right. So let's start off with the okay stuff, or some of the stuff. We'll go down the line and find out what's okay. So the tactical mask is okay. The armor on it is great. Tenacious is a good talent to have. The only problem is it's 9.5 exotic damage resilience. It comes with 1210 stam, and then it's blind death resistance. So the major and minor attributes I'm not really a fan of in any of these situations, but the armor is nice and tenacious is nice. So you could re-roll some of this, but yeah, it's just okay. It's not even all that great. Moving along, I'm going to pass through some of these masks just because I'm not a huge fan of any of them. We don't really get into anything good, in my opinion. Anything amazing or better, kind of worth your time until we get to these knees. We've got a 1667 armor on some knees, accomplished 15,356 health. We've got 15% damage to elites, 29% bleed resistance, and 33 shock. This is a pretty good pair of knee pads. Not bad at all. You'll have to re-roll the stam, but I would say this falls into a pretty decent category. This is a not a bad pickup if you need some knee pads with good armor and good amount of health on them. And then having that extra enemy armor damage, or sorry, damage to elites if you're playing PvE, is pretty nice to have. Then the knee pads for the Nomad are the armor on them are nice. The skill power could be a bit better. The damage to elites is a little bit higher. It comes with burn resist at 32, which is nice, but disrupt is not all that great. And then the stam that's baked into them at 1195 is a little bit undesirable. Moving along, the Reclaimer holster is pretty nice. 961 armor, comes with 1260 stam, 1255 electronics. Unfortunately, it's reload speed and a pretty low roll on the firearms, but it is doable if you were looking to make a Reclaimer build and you needed a decent holster. Then I would say this is decent. It's pretty good if you're just going to buy one straight out, because holsters are always some of the hardest to come by. Now moving along, we have some tactical gloves with Astute. With the armor on them at 991, they're not horrible, but they are an acquired taste. I know most people like Savage on the yellow gloves, but if you are looking for something with Astute, maybe you're running a sniper rifle or something that you have a small magazine size, maybe even a shotgun, this could work out pretty well for you. If you don't have any good Savage gloves, but I'm pretty sure most people do. But 991 armor, 1180 on the electronics needs to be re-rolled. 5% crit chance, 6.5 enemy armor damage, and 8% skill haste. Now the other gloves that are worth looking at are the Striker's gloves. Pretty good armor, 975, 7% enemy armor damage, 14% crit hit damage, and 7% skill haste. The crit hit damage on it is a little bit low. The skill haste is nice. The enemy armor damage is nice. This is mostly for PvE players. PvP players are probably going to stay out of the lane for most of this stuff. Sentry gloves are kind of meh. Deadeye, again, meh. Alpha Bridge, meh. Now getting on to something that I think is a very, very good buy if you don't have it, is the Prototype Firearms mod. 264 firearms plus 3% skill haste is very nice to have. Only downside to this is going to cost you 192 Phoenix credits. Hopefully we'll find something better running around in some of the other bases for normal credits. If so, then that's a definite pickup. If not, then this is something you may want to consider. Now the rest of this stuff that is being sold, I would say, is more than likely going to be a pass for most of you. But if you are interested in checking it out, you can always go ahead into the base and check it out for yourself and see how it stacks up with your build. So why don't we get around to some of the other vendors and see what is going on this week. Over at the advanced weaponry vendor, we've got, I would say probably not the greatest things going on, but we've got a P4 Storm pistol with Fierce. We've got a first wave Vector with 21% crit hit chance. The damage on it is kinda okay. I'd like to see it a little bit better. Comes with Unforgiving and Adept, which isn't bad if you're interested in something like this and you have the stam for it. I would say check it out, give it a run, maybe get rid of Dominant. The G36 being sold, good enemy armor damage, good base damage, comes with fierce, sustained, and focused. Definitely give this a check out. This is not a bad weapon to have, and again, that base damage is pretty nice, and that enemy armor damage is also not too bad as well. We have the M870 shotgun, good stagger, good base damage. Unfortunately, comes with commanding and ferocious, but it does have competence. So if you're interested, and then there you go, you can roll something else, maybe roll one of those off and get something better. My pick for for this week, I guess, at the advanced weaponry vendor would definitely be the covert SRS. 170 headshot damage on a sniper rifle is kind of hard to come by for a lot of people, so if you don't have something like that, it's definitely worth picking up. The base damage on it at 133 is not too bad for this character. Comes with proficient, capable, and deadly. I would say you may want to roll off either proficient, I would say either proficient or capable, depending on are you planning on playing this for PvP or PvE. This could work either way. Having capable gives you better handling for your weapon, which could be good, especially in those sticky situations. And then having proficient, if you fire the first bullet out of combat, gives you that high chance for a crit, which, you know, could work out very well for you, but it probably only work once per engagement, so you do have to consider which one of these you would like to have. Capable, something you'll have as long as you're using the weapon, and then proficient is just for the first time you shoot a bullet. So kind of a 50-50, depends on you guys. The MG5 light machine gun, low damage to targets out of cover, accurate, vicious, unforgiving in the third, which is nice, but I don't think the other talents make up for the rest of this. Extended mag, not as good as the one from last week. Hope you picked that one up. The flash hider, not that great. Small grip, good crit hit damage, but that's kind of about it. And then the improved sight, crit damage, crit chance, and some stability. You could do better, but that's what's being sold at the advanced weaponry vendor this week. All right, over in Autumn's Hope, just as a quick little throw out, there's a pair of knee pads with almost max health rolled on the major attribute at 16,619. The max you can get is 16,674, so not too bad off from that. Plus this comes with bleed and burn resist, which I know a lot of people like, so I thought I'd just throw it out there if you're interested. The only downside to this is that the armor is a little bit low, so kind of take that with a grain of salt. Okay guys, over in the last call, there is a police M4 being sold, 19% enemy armor damage. The base damage on it isn't horrible, 24.7 with this character. Could be a bit better. It's about a little, I'd say probably close to 1,000 off of the max damage, but it does come with ferocious, fierce, and talented. This would be really good for a skill build with talented in the third slot. Even if you don't have that much skill power, this could still help you out. Killing a target with this weapon increases skill power by 15% for 20 seconds, and the effect does not stack when killing a new target. The time resets, so this could be good even if you don't have a lot of skill power, but if you do have some, this is going to help you out quite a bit. And then comes with fierce, which will give you some crit hit chance. You may want to do something about ferocious unless you're doing PvE stuff and you have enough electronics and stamina, which I'm pretty sure not many people do. So yeah, take a look at it if you need it, but if not, it's not the end of the world. This isn't the greatest weapon, but if you are looking for a police M4, then there's one for regular credits. Alright guys, over in the war, there's a couple mods that I wanted to show you guys and talk about. The first one for the PvE players is the stamina mod, the purple stamina mod with 195 stamina on it, and it comes with 4% damage to elites. So if you're looking for some extra damage to elites, you can stack this pretty well and get some pretty good results with it. Unfortunately, it's not firearms. Wish it was over 200 firearms, but it is not. But hey, if you need the damage to elites for PvE runs, that could help you out. Now, if you're just looking for some extra self heals, then you're a lone wolf, then this could help you out. 5.5 first aid self heals, yellow mod. If you need something like this, then there you go. Two good mods to check out if you need them. Alright, over in Southpaw, another quick little shout out. If you're looking for a vigorous chest piece with some health on it, you've got one. Pretty decent armor, 1996, vigorous, Health is around 15,349. Comes with exotic damage resilience, so this could be really good for last stand. And then it comes with a minor attribute of increased kill XP. Wah, wah. But other than that, this is not too bad. You will need to re-roll Stam. It is at 1157. Maybe get something a little more to your liking, and then you're pretty much good to go. Alright guys, over in DZ8 in East 50A Street, some pretty decent stuff this week. There's an operator's mask with 1,000 armor. Comes with tenacious, 10.5 exotic damage resilience, and 9% damage to elites. Not too bad for PvE stuff, especially if you're going up against the cleaners. Help keep you safe from that fire. You will have to do something about that. Electronics at 1125. The other good thing that they have for sale in here is some Spec Ops gloves. The armor on it could be a lot better. It's 916, but I have seen a lot worse. Comes with Savage, 16% crit hit damage, 7.5 enemy armor damage, and it comes with 963 SMG damage. So for SMGs, the highest you can get is 1,001. So, you know, you're a little bit off, but not too bad. It's in the 950 plus range. Maximum crit hit damage you can get on gloves is 17%, so you're only 1% off from that. You will need to do something about the firearms because it's only at 1159, so that's something to kind of think about. But yeah, not too bad, but not the most amazing, but still pretty good. The vendor at East 53rd Street is bringing that hotness again, 2 weeks in a row. We've got a black market sausage with talented, commanding, and ferocious, which is a pass. But these knee pads, the armor on them, I have to admit, is not good at all. It kind of sucks. But 1272 electronics, 15,785 health, 31 shock resist, 30 blind death resist, and 32 disrupt resist. I would say is kind of worth thinking about. Is it the most amazing thing ever? No, definitely not. But this is pretty good, especially if you're running an electronics build and you want to stay alive. Remember that the max health that you can have on a pair of knees is about 16,674. So not too bad. And then the electronics that is rolled on this are the max at 1272. Now, there's also a prototype performance mod with a 4% sticky bomb damage if you're running that sticky bomb. And then there's an Omega rifle suppressor being sold for 18% headshot damage, 4% crit damage, crit damage, and then 44% reduced threat accuracy. But if you need no Omega rifle suppressor, it's not a bad one to get. It's not the best, but hey, it's better than what you got, then go ahead and pick it up. Alright guys, over at West 42nd Street, you will definitely need to go and check this out. There is a prototype electronics mod, 265 electronics plus 3,167 health. This is pretty nice if I do say so myself. So if you don't have any of these high-end kind of electronics mods, you may want to pick some up, especially if they're stacking that much health on them. Usually they fall somewhere under the 2,900, 2,800 health, but to have that much electronics and that much health on some mods is pretty nice. I'd say pick them up and maybe put them in your stash if you don't have anything better. This could come in handy in the future. Alright guys, over at West 34th Street, if electronics mod with health is not up your alley, then how about an electronics mod with 3% skill haste? There you go, 258 electronics, 3% skill haste. Go grab that. Alright guys, over in DZ8, there's another pair of knee pads. This is so many knee pads this week. Good armor, 1644. Prosperous, 8% crit hit damage. If you're going for maximum DPS, you really don't care about any kind of toughness or stuff like that, this could work out for you. It's 8% crit hit damage, 14% damage to elites, 33 shock resistance, and 30% blind death. Then you will have to re-roll firearms because 1230 is just not enough, but the armor is pretty good. Crit damage is nice. Damage to elites could be a bit better, but I don't mess with that. It's not too bad. So if you need something like that for maybe some PvE stuff, then hey, there you go. All right, so we're in the last stop at DZ9. The only thing they've got for sale that I would kind of recommend, it's not too bad, is this SR7 suppressor. 17% crit hit damage, 2.5 crit chance, 2.5 stability, and 50% reduced threat. I would recommend this over the loud vent break just for the reduced threat instead of the increased threat. So if you need some kind of suppressor, this could be a decent one to pick up, and that'll pretty much do it for the vendors for this week. Alright guys, so that is it for this week's good or garbage. I hope you found something worth picking up. I know a lot of people probably won't. I didn't find too many things that were going to help out any of my builds or my playstyle, but hey, you never know. You could find something that works out for you or something that you may want to pick up for the future. And big shout out and thank you to Venom for sending me a message to my phone telling me that he could hear me sniffing in the stream, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And I accidentally pressed the stream button instead of record, and I've been kind of fighting a cold for the past couple days, which is why I haven't really been streaming. But shout outs to you, and shout outs to No Love and Junior for going and checking out the stream. I saw you guys in the chat after the fact, so thank you guys for that. Sorry I hit the wrong button. Epic fail for this week, but you know, sometimes those things happen. And that's gonna pretty much do it for this week. I will be streaming the Destiny 2 beta in a little bit. So if you've been waiting for that, definitely come and stop by and check it out with me. If you haven't played it, it is free on the PlayStation store, so you can go ahead and check that out right about now. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. If there's anything you picked up this week, let me know. If you guys are going to be playing Destiny 2 beta this week, let me know. If there are any other games that you're getting hyped about, like maybe even Ghost Recon's PvP that's coming soon, then definitely let me know. Good to hear what you guys are playing and good to hear what you guys are excited about. So until the next video, I am Khan, Mr. So Real. Thank you guys for all of the support, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Have a great weekend, guys. See you in the streams. Peace.